this is what I would like to talk about. What is actually real? Um, no matter what you think about the current situation in the world, what is happening, where you stand, politically, philosophically, whatever. I would like to zoom out zoom out a little bit and talk about the truth and the data in it, and what can you actually believe that you see online. We know that this has been a large problem for a long time now, since many people have access to technology and internet and Photoshop. Uh, Many people have created a lot of images that are well made up and fantasy images, right? Not real. Uh, and now with the artificial intelligence, it's getting even more intense and complicated because the AI allows the masses, any one of us, to create convincing images that appear real, right? uh, they make this process much faster and much more available. So this means that there will be a much more information online on the internet that is simply not true. So how does it relate to this information? Why am I talking about this while looking at this picture? So as I said, I'm mostly interested in the truth. And if what I'm looking at is real, if that's really what happened, if what this guy at this rally or protest held in his hands really did say what we see in this picture. And I actually at this moment I believe that this is not true. This is photoshopped image, in my opinion. I'm not an expert on this topic, so I would like to invite you to give your opinion, or maybe professional opinion about how this is or this is not a photoshopped image. But in my opinion, it is. And why am I saying that is because here we can see that here is like a line of the original cardboard that I believe this guy was holding, just like the rest of the people here. They have cardboard transparent signs. And so I believe that the original image has the cardboard with some sign on it, and here we have just photoshopped label over it with white background and scaled and skewed. And then whatever you have a blank space to write whatever text you place across above that image, the original image. um, I mean, obviously this is what it looks like to me. Yeah. So first, I try to ask ChatGPT what it thinks about this image, about its authenticity. So I uploaded the picture and I asked, would you think this image is authentic or have been photoshopped or altered in some way? And ChatGPT tells me that the image appears to be authentic and not obviously altered or photoshopped. Provide some explanation. In the end, he says the image is likely authentic, likely, and has not been significantly altered or photoshopped. Well, so I mean, it suggests that it's authentic, but it cannot know for sure. I mean, obviously. I also tried asking Claude AI what he thinks. It says, I posed the same question: would you think this image is authentic? And Claude AI as well says that based on my analysis, the image appears to be authentic and does not show obvious signs of being photoshopped or digitally altered. I then continued the conversation the same way with ChatGPT about my reasons for thinking the image is not being authentic, and both of those languages then progressed on telling me that it's a good question, and it's reasonable enough to think that it might not be authentic, but obviously it cannot provide final proof. So then I went on and uploaded the image to Google Lens application to try search by an image to see, whether I can find some similarity or some kind of original or whatever the source is besides the person, sharing it on the LinkedIn. And this is the only thing I found, So when I searched the image, we have only three links leading to actually X or Twitter accounts. Here I tried the same thing on Yandex from Russia, and here we can see the similar images, and well, there aren't any images actually that would be from this the same person. But what I like about this similarity comparison is how you can actually have a look at the real black on white posters the people have, what it looks like when it's really an image without Photoshop. And I think here you can see the clear difference. Even more examples can be seen on Bing. Here, once again, you have real images of what it looks like when the person actually holds the poster, and the text is written really there on it. When the person was holding the poster, not being photoshopped after over it. So we live in a world where there are a lot of photoshopped images, and there will be even more. And we have been aware of it for some time now, but I think that now it's becoming even more difficult. And I would like to focus on what I find really troubling at this time, because even the people who think that has access to information and that think that act in the best of interest of society and people, just like I would guess this person. I believe totally that he does everything in his right mind, in his personal beliefs and motivations of what's morally right, and I would not dare to question these things. But here is the problem that actually even this informed person who means well at this point, I believe, shares a misinformation. And you cannot actually fight misinformation by sharing more misinformation. I mean, most likely this person has been at the rally, and I guess it's pretty likely that his opinions are very close to what we see here on this image. Nevertheless, this is not what he held in his hands, and this is not the words he had on his poster. And so this person, whatever his best interest may be, is simply sharing more false information, and is putting words into somebody else's mouth, which they weren't there. So this is what I think is very troubling at this point. I even tried to have a look at a tool called photo forensics, which should help you identify whether the image was manipulated in some way. And the issue is once again, I'm not the expert, so I would be really glad if somebody helped me here. But at this time, I try to read something about it and have a look at it. But from my point of view, I cannot for sure identify whether this image was manipulated. I don't know what this actually means in this forensics thing. Nevertheless, my takeaway is it's difficult to identify if it had been manipulated in a proper way. And then there are, some things like metadata about the image and stuff like that. But all of that can be manipulated. And in the end, it doesn't matter if it has the metadata of the image has been manipulated or not. It doesn't matter for the regular person, it doesn't matter for you, because you just look at the image and you see something and you immediately, it triggers some response. And that's the most important takeaway here. We live in a world of very instant information of images and visual triggers of emotional responses. And a lot of people figured a lot of ways of how to do that and how to manipulate information and how to visually manipulate people's perception of that information. So so I would like you, all of you, to be really careful out there. And at this point, you should really accept that more and more images of what you see and will see will be altered or manipulated, or generated completely, uh, just by a computer.